64 degrees and a bit of a blustery afternoon here at the Dean Harvey Field, but we've got an exciting matchup for you today between the Vanguard Lions and the Sharks of Hawaii Pacific University. Hello everybody, JJ Johnson alongside Xander Zubiotti. Great to have you all with us.
I'm gonna curse when I'm on the mic.
Well, Jesus Munguia is still mad at you, just by the way, because you jinxed his no-hitter that he had going for himself, and you said those two words.
I did not say those two words.
You said it. You said he has yet to allow a hit, and that's just as good. And Jesus Munguia promptly gave up his first hit of the afternoon. So that's on you, certainly.
Apparently I'm a curse, and everything you say is perfectly fine, huh?
No, I just understand that, you don't want to curse these guys. But there has been a few streaks that I have been in danger of messing up. Obviously, Noel Madole, I don't know if you have seen that. Every time he gets a hit, gets an RBI. He's dead even for hits and RBIs. But I mentioned that the entire SAG-U series.
Oh, so exactly. So when you say it, it's
fine. And it kept going.
I say it.
Well, some people have the touch. Other people, like you, don't.
Oh, thanks.
Levi Hall now stepping up.
At least I have the legs.
His numbers, though, have been trending in the wrong direction, Zuby. Unfortunately, 208 hitter now. That number just continues to evaporate for him. Takes high there. 383 OBP, though. That's the one thing he does have working for him, is that he's #1 in the conference in walks drawn at 27.
A situation like this.
And Tevis Payne lines this one in the air to left field. That will bring home 2 runs, as Mazzaferro will tell Umfroy to stand up, trotting in. 2 RBI single for Tevis Payne makes this a 4-3 ball game now.
17 stolen bases.
That's continued to be a topic of conversation, every time we step into the CAF with Nino, is he's always talking about he wants that stolen base title, although he does have a bit of a ways to go. As you mentioned, he's only at 17.
Yeah, he loves to talk about how many stolen bases he has, but he doesn't like to talk about how many attempts he's gotten, and I love to joke with him about that. Because he always just tells me, all right, we don't need to talk about that. 17
for 22, although he hasn't been picked off in a while. Speaking of getting picked off, Zuby, though, is going to get in safely. That's 3 Lions now in double figures. The most aggressive team on the base pass is Nino. Will chuck his bat over and will take first base the hard way. Last time Nino was caught stealing was March 5th at Redlands. He was 1 for 2 that day. That pitch gets away. Won't be stolen bases, but they will advance both now into scoring position here.
Fastball after Oscar was late on that one.
Yeah, that seems to be his go-to pitch so far. Another gas, and that ball's a high chopper glancing off the glove of Kettle. Diaz is trying to leg it out. The throw is offline. They're going to tell him to go advance over to second. 1 run will score. A second run will score. Diaz trying to show off the speed here. 2 more runs come across. The Lions have answered back in a big way. They now lead 5-4.
You what? I guess we're ready for going into next year.
And we kind of touched on that at the top, but I certainly think you're onto something with that because of the fact that as Scarcega misses offline there, these two sides are going to be facing off against each other next year as conference foes in the Pac West. So it's the early litmus test, I would say. Espinoza is the junior out of Sylmar, California. Los Angeles Mission College was his previous destination.
Think you can tell me where Sylmar is?
I have no clue.
Good, I don't either. It was just a genuine question.
Yeah, I'm a comm major, not a geography major or a history buff like Justin Burtis.
Justin, where's Sylmar, California?
1-1 pitch goes in for a strike, and Espinoza.
Justin, you're really absolutely right.
Nope, there you go. Sylmar, California, up and over from Los Angeles, but it's a 1-2. Working against Hall outside, 2-2. To this new gas from Espinoza, 2-2. Hall, this one's on the ground, glancing off the mound, and it will be a single for Hall, trying to get a 2-out rally started. Brown pinch hitting for Steven Casas, who had another 0 for afternoon. You got to think, as soon as Adam Stevens is healthy, because they were trying to hold out and see if Steven Casas could get something going, but you have to think, as soon as Adam Stevens is healthy and ready to go, it's going to be his hot corner to play from here on out, and Steven will have to be probably relegated to the bench.
Yeah, especially with the offensive struggles we've seen from third base. And
feel this game getting a little antsy, and this game gets real if Pastor Mike just showed up. Our campus pastor has just made his appearance. 2-1. Payne, this one's a slow roller to short, and this should just about do it, and it does. The 2-out rally falls short for the Lions. They're going to need to hold serve here and hope the offense can get something going. They're down by 2 entering the 9th. And just 7 earned runs for him. Skied in the air. Buxton's making the trot back. Levi Hall's charging in from left field. Buxton cannot make the snag. Miscommunication once again, and now Mazzaferro looks like he's got a hole in his glove. I don't know what's going on, but the Lions' defensive woes persist today. So we talked about the pitching, we talked about the hitting, but now the third element of this now where as something just goes wrong is the fielding.
Yeah, it's the aggressiveness on a pop-up like that. It just seems Levi and Buxton both kind of coasting over there thinking that either one of them is going to make a catch, and it's just getting away from Buxton. Buxton way out there. That looks like a ball that Levi should get 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I mean, Buxton had to make a long trot back. Payne does a good job trapping that one before it gets away. It should have been a routine pop out to left field. This ball is hit well, and that's now a 12-9 ball game. Hawaii Pacific adding the insurance. Before we get started here in the bottom lines, we need to take a moment here for the athletic department here. As the Lions family is dealing with a hard time here. One of our student athletes was involved in a car accident, Aiden Scott, and we just would ask everyone at home to please be praying for him as he's had to undergo surgery, and just he's a bright light around this campus and plays men's soccer here, and he someone I consider to be one of my friends as well personally, and so I just, as an athletic department and all the student athletes here, we would please ask to keep him, his family, a great family at that as well. So please keep them in your prayers here. It's certainly not the news that we were expecting to hear when we got back to campus after spring break. 61 degrees here live from Dean Harvey Field as we're getting set for a GSAC matchup that is sure to be pivotal down the stretch here for both sides. The 19 and 15 Masters Mustangs coming to town to take on your Vanguard Lions, who are 24 and 17 on the season. Hello everybody, JJ Johnson alongside my broadcast partner Xander Zubiati. And Zubi, this is gotta bring up Ryan Matheson, who's the ever dangerous Ryan Matheson, I should say, because this dude is a perennial all GSAC player for the Mustang side.
The game against Jessup, he gave up a total of 4 runs and only 3 were earned.
Yeah, it wasn't necessarily a bad day, all things considered. I mean, anytime you can hold Jessup's prolific offense to 4 runs, you expect to be in that ballgame. And the Lions were. They only lost 4-2, but that's been part of the theme this year. Tony Onfroy continues to hold down the fort at first base. Second base today, we mentioned Mazzaferro, who has that fractured wrist. He's going to be down for a minute here. Suffered that a couple of weeks ago at home. Evan Avizzi has taken over him at second. Italian stallion Nino Voltaggio lays down a beauty of a bunt. He's going to try to leg it out, and he does. Look at that piece of bunting there from Voltaggio.
Well, we talked about the bunting earlier. Vanguard has been struggling, but Nino and Brendan have been the mainstays to play a bunt down, and Nino beautiful for bunting, but as Oscar lays one down right now.
They're trying to go small ball, and Oscar Diaz going to get the show off the speed himself. And he's fired up now, nobody out, and a couple of bunts laid down to perfection for this Vanguard side.
I was just about to go on saying that they should start bunting now. See something. They probably want to get back at Webster. Just not to really get back at him like you left. All right, here we come.
Well, I'm sure that plays a part.
I'm sure it definitely does play to it, but to just come at him and just say like, well, look what you're missing out on.
And a batting average of .455, and he started to see some more action as the season has worn on down the stretch here. Bases juiced.
Yeah, with all the injuries and everything, you're just looking for a consistent right field. No, are 9 and 14. We are at 7 and 12, and the Masters at 6 and 13, as well as Menlo now at 6 and 13.
Yeah, Menlo's creeping up a little bit behind. Right now, it's going to be a three-man race, really, unless we see something out of Ottawa where they just fall apart there here towards the stretch. It's going to be a 3-horse race down the stretch for that 5 seed in the GSAC tournament. Hernandez, a late swing. Another run walked in, and it's been a disaster of a start here for Webster, facing off against his former team. Well, you don't want that flame to... As the home plate umpire just asked for the music to be killed sooner. What, we can't have fun?
Some people just don't like music.
Well, I guess he didn't like that song.
Maybe he likes country music.
Yeah, I think maybe so.
That's Peg's rule. If you're worried about what to play, just play country music.
which I could go all day about that. Just the idea of country music versus rap. I'm not going to get into it now, but
all right, JJ.
I'll leave it there. We were trying everything for Steven Casas last time.
Yeah, we tried doing even golf.
We tried golf commentary. We tried to hold our breath during the entire at-bat. Had it around before anybody got out. This has been incredible stuff from the Lions offense. I mean, we've seen some explosive stuff from the Lions side so far this season. This might take the cake here in the bottom of the first. This ball's skied in the air to center, back towards the track, and it will be caught. So the first out is recorded, and the tag up for Adam Stevens with these. 8-0 ball game now. Casas gets over safely to third. Lead, perhaps?
Maybe. We'll see what Oscar does in this battle. Lay down a beautiful bunt, and you always make fun of his speed, yet he gets on with a nice bunt.
Well, if Oscar Diaz maybe had a little bit more giddy up in his step, he might not have had to slide into first base. But obviously just having fun with Oscar.
I mean, you still got to be pretty fast to lay down a bunt and beat out the pitcher to the bag.
Of course, it was a beautiful bunt.
So, I mean, I don't know. You might want to talk to Oscar about that.
I'm sure he'll talk to me about it as soon as he hears what I had to say about his speed.
Yeah, but he might ask to race you, but that'll be a bit unfair.
If you make another joke about my knee.
What? Okay, then do you want to go race Oscar? Then go ahead. Do you think you'll beat him?
As of right now, no, but
exactly.
What do you want me to say? Do a single leg hop?
You guys can do a 3-legged race.
You're unbelievable. Oscar Diaz now has a 1-2. And Oscar Diaz will go down looking on the outside. And it's the second out here. So he will not be able to tie Voltaggio's RBI lead for the Lions. Well, the good news for the Lions is they put up 9 runs. The bad news is Jacob Dahlstrom had to go through his pregame routine again because we haven't seen him in about half an hour. The Lions obviously up by 9 now. I just want to say there's some bad blood brewing between these two sides.